Good afternoon. I just got done installing an HEI distributor from Amazon in my Mercruiser 4.3 and removed Thunderbolt 5. I have watched too many hours of videos in multiple parts to realize that this was made way too complicated, okay? First off, I started my journey by trying to buy a DUI marine, quote-unquote, HEI distributor. It was almost $500 and was not going to be available for several months. So I said, forget that. Here it's the middle of summer still. So I bought an $80 HEI distributor for a GM 4.3. It's got the coil on top. It's got a vacuum advance, although I have not used it. The vacuum advance, that is. And I started off thinking, oh, it's going to be really complicated to switch over. It's not. So get your pen and paper. I will make this extremely simple and quick, and I'll show you, and you can prove it that it works, and it will include the shift interrupter for the Mercruiser, which is necessary. You might think it's not necessary until you get in the water, but it is. If you run it on the hose, it might shift out of gear okay, but once it's got enough drag on it in the water, it won't. So without further ado, what you've got, this was your Thunderbolt ignition module. It had two plugs in it, okay? I'm not going to show you where all the plugs are, but you can look yourself. HEI distributor, I'm not going to tell you how to put that in. Plenty of videos on how to install a distributor. Thing you need to know is it'll come with, you'll have to order it with it, a pigtail that has a 12-volt power and tach. It says it right on top, battery, tachometer. Okay? Take off the wire off your Thunderbolt ignition. Gray wire goes to your tach. That's your tach signal. Coming off your distributor, it's going to your gauge. Okay? Done. Gray to your tach wire. Your power wire, I took the blue wire off my switched hot off of my coil, combined it with the purple wire, which is a switched hot going to the Thunderbolt ignition. Combined them both, and I'll tell you what I also added in that lump of 3 wires. Anyway, to power the HEI distributor, the blue off the coil, it's a light blue, baby blue, whatever, and the purple wire that went to the Thunderbolt ignition. Okay, so you can clip that off, and that goes to here, so when you turn the key on, you got power to your ignition. Okay, simple. Last thing, this is your shift interrupter switch. Okay, you won't be able to get it out of gear unless you engage this. What it does naturally under the Thunderbolt system is it grounds out the ignition briefly. It goes up or down. Okay, it grounds out one of these wires. This one's a ground. This white one follows through and it goes over to here. It was going to the ignition module. I've now tagged that in with the 12-volt to the distributor. Okay? So it's sitting there doing nothing until you shift in or out of gear. It depresses that and it grounds the ignition power supply briefly, causes the engine to stall a little bit, like it's supposed to, cuts power to the distributor for a millisecond, allows you to shift in and out of gear. Okay? So you're just mimicking what Mercruiser did. So again, I tied together the white, with a little, I think there's a little black stripe on it, up here. And then this momentarily, when the shift switch goes in, this will ground out your power supply, causing the engine to stall. And you can test this, just run it on your hose and push this up or down, and it'll kill the engine. That's your test, okay? Last thing is, one of the guys, and I haven't decided what I'm gonna do, this yellow and this tan with the blue stripe, that's your alarm circuit. I'm either gonna put in a temperature alarm here instead of this, because if you tag these two together and you got your key on, it'll just beep the whole time. One thing you can do is leave these in your ignition module plugged in like you normally would. Just don't cut them. I cut them already, unfortunately. But you would have to have at least still a switch 12 volt to your ignition, or your Thunderbolt ignition. You can leave it mounted here, and I suppose it would just work normally. Otherwise, if you want to tag them together and have a heat alarm, you'd have to replace this with a heat switch. This is this is not an on and off switch here, so it will beep the whole time. So if you can replace that, I don't know if it has to be Mercruiser or not. You'd probably just find a generic heat switch with the same threading. And the rest of the wires, there's a purple, there's the other side, there's the negative on your coil, one side on your coil, and then there's a ground wire. I just throw these all together. They don't go anywhere or do anything. And then the two that had gone to your to your old distributor, the white, they were white with some stripes on them, those go away too, of course. All right, so I don't know how I can make it any more simple. All right, so again, yeah, I know it's not a marine distributor, but I don't live on the coast, and I'm not in salty, wet environment all the time. So, and I can buy 4 of those distributors for the price of one of those quote-unquote marine ones. So, let me know what you think. That's about the simplest I can make it. Thank you very much.